Hey guys, how you doing? Happy Homebrew Wednesday. Cheers. Talk about this in a moment. Meantime, this Homebrew Wednesday is actually a Homebrew Wednesday because actually, yes, you heard correctly. You can hear the kettle on the stove. I'm actually brewing a beer. I want to thank American Brewmaster Andrew, in particular, from American Brewmaster in North Carolina, for donating this beer kit that I'm about to brew. And it's such a simple brew, but I figured instead of doing a full big, I'm just going to do a Homebrew Wednesday, but, we can make it the same. Let's call it Easy Home Brewing with Craig on Homebrew Wednesday. Cue the bumper. Alright, I don't want to get up that up too high, so we'll turn that off for now. And we've got our liquid malt extracts here. We've got some Pilsner malt, 3.3 pounds, and some wheat malt, 3.3 pounds as well. We've got some grains. Now, I don't know what these are, actually. They didn't say, but it looks like flaked barley or flaked something. And we've got some hops here. This is just a one hop brew. These are, what are these? Tettnanger hops. 1 ounce of those. Got some priming sugar. I'm just going to throw that into the batch. Got our yeast here. Okay. And a couple of, these are little orange or bittering flavor packages, which go in at the end. So very, very simple. And we're going to get our temperature at about 155, I think it is. And once it's there, we'll steep our grains. And when we're steeping our grains, we'll talk. Okay? Cheers. Okay, we have 155. Whoops. Get our grain bag in here. Actually, would be curious to know what this is. It's flaked something. Well, I forgot my spoon downstairs. But we'll get that in there and get it started. Oh yeah. There you go. This is going to steep for half an hour at 155. I'll put the lid on, I'll control the temperature. And that's that. While that's steeping, we can talk about this. This is nothing special. I just did a Cooper's English bitter, but I changed out the yeast for Nottingham yeast. And it looks a little unexciting at the moment because I just kegged it last night and it really hasn't had a chance to carbonate properly. I didn't roll the keg. I left it at 30 pounds overnight. So it's a little bit unexciting, but yeah, it needs another day on the gas. But I like the difference in the, switching out the yeast with the Nottingham yeast. Because this is an English bitter beer, it seems fitting to have an English yeast with it as well. But I kind of made a mistake with this. Nothing big, but I was planning on doing the 5 and 7. Now, for those of you who don't know, and for those of you who do know, let me just tell you where that came from. The 5 and 7 method that I sort of just came up with, whatever, and I call it the 5 and 7. I was trying to emulate Cooper's Brew Enhancer 2. Okay? Brew Enhancer 2 is convenient. You open it up, pour it in, you don't have to worry about anything. It's sterilized and everything's fine. But, it's a little cheaper to buy this stuff separately and do it yourself. So I thought, well, I can do that. Now you got to go out and get different things. There's maltodextrin, there's dextrose, and there's dry malt extract. You got to weigh them and mix them together, and sometimes it's just easier to buy the damn Brew Enhancer 2. But anyways, so I thought, well, what is it? Brew Enhancer 2 has 250 grams of dry malt extract, 500 grams of dextrose, and 250 grams of maltodextrin. Okay? Now, I can get maltodextrin if I want to trek all the way out to the brew shop up in Upper James. And I don't drive, so it's difficult. I gotta get someone to drive me or whatever. But you know, you don't need it. It's not big. It's not necessary. It helps a little bit. So what I thought I would do is say, okay, because maltodextrin is cheaper than dry malt extract, and it has the same effect as far as the mouthfeel and head retention, but it doesn't add any flavor. I thought, well, let me just forget about that, and I'll just bump up the dry malt extract from 250 grams to 500 grams, right? So now we've got 500 grams of dry malt extract, 500 grams of dextrose. So I thought, let's take the dextrose up to 700 grams. Okay, so we brought them both up. We brought the sugar up a little bit and the dry malt extract up a little bit. We've got like a, just like that, and that's my 5 and 7. 5, 7, okay? 500 grams of dry malt, 700 grams of dextrose. Again, dextrose is the cheap man's way of getting your alcohol content. If you want, you know, better beer, then you use all malt, right? You use all malt, or you do all grain, or whatever. But for just run-of-the-mill beer that you're just drinking on, you know, sort of a, you know, every other day or something like that, just to get you by, I don't mind using dextrose at all. As long as you don't use too much, it doesn't really hurt it that badly, and a lot of people use it. But in this particular case, I was pouring my dextrose into a container, and I had my scale there, and I was watching the scale go up and up and up and up until I, you know, hit 700 grams. But it wasn't coming out very well. I had this bag with a little corner cut off, so I was pouring it, you know. It wasn't coming out very fast, so I started shaking the bag, and it went, and a whole bunch came out, and it was like 950 grams of dextrose. And I'm looking at this little bag with the corner cut off, and I'm thinking, I'm not going to try and get this sugar back in here. I was tired. I was getting ready to go to bed. I just wanted to get this brew down, so I said, beep it. I'm just going to make it with this much sugar and see what happens. And that's what I did. So, apart from the fact that it's slightly undercarbonated, which this, I swear to you, that's what's wrong with this. It tastes fine. It's a little strong as far as the alcohol goes. We've got a little buzz going on here. I've only had 2 glasses. You know, it's a little thin tasting as far as the mouthfeel goes, but that might improve once I get the carbonation bumped up a little bit. But as far as the flavor goes, it's fine. It tastes great. You know, it's a good beer. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it at all. I wouldn't enter it into a big competition or anything like that, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with a quickie like this one. And the Nottingham yeast left a nice sweetness there. Didn't dry it out quite as much as the yeast that comes with it. And you know, certainly, you know, switch out those yeasts. By the way, I'm sorry about the lighting. I haven't got great lighting in here. I've got to get some lights for this situation. Some easy ones I can set up really easily and that. So, but that's going to have to wait. So, yeah. So it's not bad. Not bad. My SJ pour beer. I should have looked at the time, actually. I don't even know what time it was when I put that in. I think it was about 10 minutes ago. My SJ pour beer is actually doing really well. The carbonation is picking up, and it's tasting wonderful. So I'm not worried about it anymore. It's sitting down there, aging, getting wiser, getting nicer, and hopefully it does well, and hopefully people enjoy it. That's the main thing. So, and I'm looking forward to trying other people's beers as well. Now, last week there was a broken glass in my Homebrew Wednesday video, and people were, the chat, the comments, everyone's like, "What's with the broken glass? What did you do? Did you, you know, what's so?" Nothing. It just, you know, it fell off. There was a box fan down in the basement. I had the box fan on, and I was sleeping down there, and I had the glass on the box fan, and it just vibrated off, and it crashed in the middle of the night, scared the crap out of me. And I happened to fall asleep down there. I was doing stuff, and I was, you know, and it went smash. And I got up and I looked around. I couldn't find anything, so I went back to bed thinking, oh, I just dreamed it, you know. Well, the next day I got up and sure enough, there it was, down beside the fan, broken. So I just picked it up, you know, no biggie here. And I just put it there because I thought, well, I gotta throw this out. But it's garbage day tomorrow. I don't want to put it in the kitchen garbage because I don't want one of my family members to reach the hand in there, put something in, and then cut themselves, right? So I just kept it down there where I knew where it was. And come garbage day, I was going to throw it in the green bag. That's, you know, that's why it was, you know, Homebrew Wednesday. Garbage day here is Thursday. So anyway. All right. So here we are in the dungeon, and there we go. That's more like it. Instead of them all being all over my bench there, they're all nice and stacked up on there. Now, one of them looks a little crooked, but that's not my fault. Okay, the house is slanted. I had to make up for it. Just leave it alone. It's fine. It's fine. Just forget it. It never happened. It's just the way it is. Look at, I can straighten it out like that. That's perfect. Now, it's hard to drill into concrete because the drill wanders when you start putting pilots. But anyways, I got to rehang my little homebrew dungeon sign, which is behind there. I'm going to rehang it because it's hidden behind the glasses where it was. So I will put it over here. And that's where it will be. So, but yeah, lots of great glasses. I'm not sure why one man needs so many beer glasses. Anyway. Okay, in the meantime, I just threw I threw the first malt extract edition into a pot full of warm water, not hot, because I don't want to melt the bag. And in the meantime, we've got this. My son decided that he wanted me to install an air conditioner for him up in his room. So it's hot here right now. So I did that. Doesn't matter. You can leave these steep for longer than suggested, longer than they say. Just absorb a little bit more water, so you have to drain them. A little longer, and I'll just let these drain for a little bit. Okay, so it did add some color to the water. So I gotta get this up to the boil, and then add our first edition of malt extract and our first hop edition. Okay, I just got her to the boil, and I turned off the burner to add my Pilsner malt. I will say that these guys package these things very well. This was double bagged, so that if something did happen, some sort of a leak or whatever, it would go into the second bag. And plus, there was no aroma at all coming from the package. So kudos to them for packaging these things very, very well.
Yes.
Can you please shut off my camera?
Huh?
Shut off my camera. Please stop the camera.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, folks, we have a boil and a first hop edition going in. I believe it's Tettnanger, 1 ounce. Look at my clock, 11:02, 11:03. And that's what we've got for about, 50 minutes before we have to do anything else. So that's just gonna go. And so that my family doesn't get too pissed off, I'll turn on the exhaust. And again, I wanted to thank American Brewmaster for sending me the ingredients to make this beer. I'm looking forward to it a lot. Now, as far as the star stand and the sanitizing goes, I usually use my Star San even when it's cloudy for sanitizing equipment for testing or hydrometers or things like that. But when I'm making a new batch of beer, especially an important one like this, I tend to make a new sanitizer. I pour this out and make a new one. Now, is that what I should be doing? Because when I do my little litmus test with my little litmus papers here, it tells me that the sanitizer is at proper pH for sanitizing. So that's a question for John Palmer when we get him on the line, and he's back from his busyness. So, you know, in the next couple of weeks, I don't know exactly when, but we're going to do an interview with John. He's agreed to do it. And I'm going to ask him about Star San and what he thinks about cloudy versus clear Star San. That whole issue that we've talked about so many times that we all worry about. And this Star San here tests perfectly for pH. But because I'm doing this great brew, I don't want to mess it up in any way. I'm going to pour this down the drain and make a new batch. Is it a shame? Probably. Is it necessary? Probably not. You know, oftentimes you have time during the boil to do other things like sanitize or talk about the 17 Brew Crew website. It's a forum, beautiful place, great for asking questions, great for finding out brewing information, questions, answers, chat, you know, whatever. It's all there. 17 Brew Crew. I get bored. I mean, just waiting for this to happen. You know? All right, I turned off my burner, and I add my. It's time to add my wheat malt extract. All right, guys, you're always going to lose your boil when you add stuff. Especially a wort chiller like this or whatever. Don't sweat it, man. It's all good. Now I'm going to add my flavor. This is bitter orange peel. In that goes. An unlabeled package, which is the same thing. It smells exactly the same. So. Yeah. I'm going to now put this yeast into the water, which is about 100 degrees. Go. Maybe 95 degrees Fahrenheit to rehydrate yeast. That's what it says to do, so that's what I'm going to do. This boil is ready to flame out and chill and take downstairs and put in the fermenter. Top up with cold water, add my yeast, and you know the rest, okay? So I'm not going to film all that. So we'll see you in a minute, just to top this all off. Cheers. Oh, that was a lot of fun, and the beer is fermenting away nicely. Here we are the next day. I actually fell asleep after that, so I didn't get to finish my Homebrew Wednesday video. So you're getting me on the iPhone walking up the street to get groceries. You know, thinking about getting a job as with a movie studio, you know, so because every time they need to do a scene where there's lots of traffic, all they got to do is call me, and I'll go out there and I'll start filming myself walking down the street, and all the cars will just come. It's perfect. I could probably make quite a bit of money that way, because it seems to be what happens every time I whip out a camera out here. Cars. Anyway. So no, but that's fermenting away very nicely, and again I want to thank these guys. I hope you can see that.
Yes, I think you can. Well, it's in there somewhere. For that wonderful ingredients kit. It's fermenting away beautifully right now, and it smells awesome. So, good stuff. The sound of an airlock is music to my ears. So, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for your support. Thanks for your patronage. Thanks for watching every week, or at least once in a while if you do. I appreciate that. We'll do the same thing again next week, and probably see you on my Friday night live show. And I just I appreciate your comments down below, if you will, even just to say 17 or cheers. And please rate the video with a thumbs up if you want. If you like the video, that would be great. A lot of people forget to do that. It really helps YouTubers out when you do that. It's a great help to us, us content creators, when you do that. So thanks, guys, a lot, guys. I'm now near the school. I think the kids are out. Yeah, it's past their time to be out, so I don't have to worry about that. The joys. Okay, well, that's about it. Thanks for watching. Be safe. See you soon. Take care.